you bought
Hey
it
guys,
is
I'm back.
fulfilled, it's time to sell. Or when the reason that you bought it no longer exists, it's time to sell. In 1980, gold hit a high of $850, and people had bought gold all the way up to that level. And at that time, the reason to own gold changed dramatically because we had 25% interest rates all of a sudden. The government said we will stop inflation no matter what, and they did so with very high interest rates. Uh, that reason for owning gold then changed, and we dramatically told our customers in the 1980s, sell your gold, sell, sell. It's finished for the time being, okay? That was the reason. Now, some people held on because they said, no, I want this as my insurance policy. Insurance policy, you don't necessarily buy and sell your life insurance policies. You have it for a particular reason. And some of your money should always be in gold, regardless of what the price is doing. Historically, we've always said at least 5%. At this particular time, we recommend much higher percentage of our assets being gold, silver, and platinum. So the reason for buying it will determine when to sell it. If that reason changes or is fulfilled, that's the time to sell it. But it must go along with the fact that you understand that gold is the only real money in the world. It is the only thing that has no IOUs
Yeah, we're back.
attached to it. It is an insurance policy, and it is a hedge against inflation, and
I lost the connection, which was unfortunate because I had over 100 people in there. So if you guys could do me a favor, if the other feed is going on still, could you go in the chat room and tell people to close out and come over here?
William Youngerman Inc., located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road.
I'd appreciate that.
You can drop by to the
Hey, Nick, could you go and tell everybody over there to close out the feed?
Call William at 1-800-357-5010
I appreciate it, guys.
or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yes, you were asking about the experiences with small aircraft.
Oh, yeah, talking about the Kobe Bryant crash. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, there used to be an airline about 25 years ago here in the Fort Lauderdale Keys area, and I took a trip on it one day from, Miami down to Marathon, Mid-Keys.
Yeah.
And I'm the only passenger, and I'm walking out to the plane, and first of all, the pilot opens up the bottom of the wing and puts my luggage in there, which, I wasn't used to that.
That's not a good sign.
Plane. What?
That's not a good sign.
Yeah. Well, I get on the plane, and, he kind of just helps me, and he's the only pilot, like you said, it's a single, small plane. It only held like 8 or 12 people, and I get in, I'm sitting in the seat up behind him to the side of the pilot, and he gets in, and he says, "Oh, can you reach up and close the little corner window on..."
Oh, man. Oh, man.
So I'm doing that, and then he takes off. He seemed confident, but he gets up in the air, and we're talking, and he happened to know my father, so he was friendly, and we're talking. But then he tells me he'd been drinking the prior night.
Oh, that's great.
Was a little hungover.
Now, was this before the takeoff, or?
No, it's during the takeoff, and we're flying over the water.
No, that's great. I feel like a joke's coming at the end of this story, but go ahead. Okay.
He wasn't hungover, but he was, the after effects. How you feel it a little the next morning. So I'm the only passenger, and I'm hearing this, and so I said, "Well, what happens if something happens to you?" And he starts telling me, "Oh, you angled the plane down in the right angle," and he says, "Whatever you do, don't aim for water, aim for land, aim for a sandbar or something." So I'm like, this is a weird experience. We got there okay, but it's not the same quality of flight as you get from Bolton.
I would agree with that one. Yeah, no doubt about that. So any thoughts on this Kobe Bryant crash? Flying in dense fog. The police say that they weren't flying. It was too much. What would you say?
Well, I don't know enough of the details. I saw the story and I saw some of that, but
yeah,
most likely he just flew in conditions that a more professional pilot just wouldn't do.
Well, I think a lot of times private pilots take chances because they don't want to disappoint the employer.
Yeah, that could be.
I don't even
But
know who
I'm
you
also
are.
thinking of
How could I hate you? I don't even know who you are.
private pilots. I mean, I'm from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I'm with a best friend who was an amateur pilot, and we were flying around Massachusetts, and we got caught above the clouds once, and he had to, he angles the
It is
plane
sad.
left, and he says, "Here, hold on to the pilot's,
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah.
and we're going around in a circle. He pulls out this big paper map with a million aeronautical symbols on it, and he's trying to figure out where we are.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Realized we're caught above the clouds. He had to call on the radio Boston, and they lead you through the clouds.
Well, I mean, look at. Well, hey, listen. I appreciate the call. I mean, look at what happened to JFK Jr. Right? I mean, what happened with JFK Jr. Private pilot. Flying an aircraft he should not have been flying in conditions he shouldn't have been flying in, the nighttime flying. Private pilots take a lot of risks, and a lot of terrible things happen with private pilots that would not happen with a government pilot, with a government agency, or a commercial pilot. But getting back with this Bolton leak, this John Bolton leak of this book, I don't buy it, okay? I think the New York Times and the PR people at the publishing house are hyping the book. Remember, the book is not released until March. It's not even February yet. Right? And the New York Times says that they have a manuscript of it. Nobody else has seen the manuscript. And they're running with this story, and it's selling like hotcakes right now. So the question I asked before the break was this. Will John Bolton do the right thing and come out today and say that this story is not true? If John Bolton comes out and tells the truth today and stops this, what does it do to his book sales that are happening right now? Remember, the book doesn't come out till March, so it's in pre-sale. So the day the book is available for pre-sale, New York Times comes out with some bombshell. If John Bolton comes out and says, no, this is not true, the pre-order sales stop. So does he do what is right as an honorable man, John Bolton, or does he let this lie during the president's impeachment trial hang out there? And I got to tell you, this came out yesterday. It's now Monday morning. John Bolton should be on every cable news outlet this morning saying this is not true. And if you don't know what the New York Times is reporting, that they've received a advanced copy of John Bolton's book, New York Times, only ones that have seen it, and that John Bolton says in the book that President Trump told him to withhold aid until they investigated political opponents, including the Bidens. Trump has said this is not true, it's a lie, and if John Bolton said it, it's only to sell books. So right now, what we're dealing with John Bolton is probably the biggest test of John Bolton's life. I'm telling you, he has never faced something like he's facing right now, John Bolton. Right? If he comes out and corrects the record and says, no, that did not happen and that is not in my book, there will be no more advanced book sales. Not very many. Right now, it's selling like mad because everyone in media, including me, are talking about it. And everyone who's talking about it on TV, radio, wherever they're talking about this John Bolton story are telling you, like I'm doing, that the book is available for pre-sale right now at Amazon.com. And maybe other booksellers too, I don't know. So he's got the equivalent of a money machine. And every hour that he lets this fake news float out there, it's making more money for him in pre-sales. The moment he does an interview and says it's not true, the pre-sales stop. And his publishers, his PR people at the publishing house, believe me, are putting the screws to him like CIA black sites with waterboarding. I mean, they're doing everything short of waterboarding to keep John Bolton off of TV to correct the record. And I'm shocked that this is an interesting thing here. This is a very interesting thing. Someone's telling me in the chat room pre-sales can be canceled. Oh, really? I've never done a pre-sale of a book. I've never bought one in advance. Yeah. Well, see, John Bolton's future is also in jeopardy right now. Is he going to be a man of credibility or a lying fake news man? Because that's what he'll become today. I'm going to give Bolton the benefit of the doubt until, say, 10 o'clock this morning. He should be on every cable news outlet first thing this morning to stop this news cycle. And I don't care what kind of contract he has with the publishing house. I don't care what kind of pressure they're putting on him. If he doesn't correct the record, he's a man who I will never again trust. I don't care what panel he's in on Fox. I don't care what presidents hire him. And the timing of this is not an accident. In fact, I'd like to know, I was looking for this morning before I went on the air, and I couldn't find any information on this. It may not be available at all. This pre-sale seems a little early to me for the John Bolton book. Originally, how far out do pre-sales usually begin for books like this? Is this unusually far out for a pre-sale of a book like this? You know, obviously they timed the book sales, they timed the pre-order of the book to coincide with the impeachment trial of the president. But I find it odd that it began the day after the president's team began their arguments. The timing of it seems very if it came about the day before or the day of the impeachment trial, it'd be bad enough. But I'd say to myself, okay, they're trying to sell the book, perfect thing, because everyone's talking about John Bolton right now. But to wait until after the Democrats have completed their case, which was vacuous, and they've gotten a reading that they got nothing and people are bored by them, president's people come out and make a spectacular case that even Johnny Cochran would be proud of, right? And then they got day 2 beginning today, and then boom, this bombshell happens after that. The timing is not a coincidence. This book story from the New York Times on John Bolton's book is a continuation of the nonstop coup that has been going on since election night 2016. It was going on before that when they were spying on Trump Tower, the home of candidate Donald Trump and the home of his campaign headquarters, but it's not a coup then because he had not been elected yet. The coup began the night that he won. All right, let's take our break. It's 7:01. My name is Brian Craig. Will John Bolton do the right thing? That's one question we have on the table. Will John Bolton come out and tell the truth today and stop his pre-order of his book? That's one question. Number 2, will the mainstream media have week-long Kobe Bryant memorials to keep the president's defense team off of television all day? That's another question, too. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. All right, hour number 2 begins now.
9.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Attention homeowners, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm here to cut your electric bill and save you a lot of money. Perhaps even eliminate your electric bill altogether. We do this by making your entire home energy efficient, by upgrading some or all of the following: roofs, doors, windows, insulating your attic, AC systems and ducts, hot water heaters, and even adding solar. Energy-efficient improvements that actually pay for themselves over a short period of time. Our program is designed to make the savings on your electric bill pay for all or part of your low monthly payments. The PACE program is government-sponsored and gives you up to 30 years to pay. Requires no credit check, no money down, no income verification, and no payments for up to 18 months. You only need to be current on your mortgage and taxes for the last 3 years to qualify. Energy savings and hurricane solutions made easy. Call 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500 to start saving money now.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Is this radio for forever
You are
Trumpers?
listening to
Yes,
South
yes,
Florida's
yes. We love
longest
Trump
running
here.
radio
We love
show,
Trump, but
The
we
Steve
welcome
King
people who
Show.
don't love
To
him.
call the show
We'll convert you.
toll-free, Dial 1-888-GO-GAIN-1. That's 1-888-GO-GAIN.
All right. Yes, yes. Brian Craig here with you. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. If you're just tuning in, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go right to the calls. I want to do a quick recap for people that are just waking up and tuning in on their way to work. New bombshell, which is fake news, comes out of the New York Times. New York Times says they received an advance copy of John Bolton's book, which is available for pre-order. Will not be released until March, so no one can verify this till March, coincidentally. A New York Times reporting that John Bolton's book says that the president told him to withhold over almost $400 million in aid to Ukraine until they dug up dirt on political opponents, including the Biden family. Will John Bolton correct this lie or let these pre-orders keep cashing him in big bucks? Because I promise you, the publishing house, they're not only putting pressure on John Bolton not to correct this fake news story, but they're also telling him how much money he's making in pre-sales. Will John Bolton do the right, honorable thing? Will he be on every cable news outlet this morning correcting this fake news from the New York Times? 2, will the media have a week-long memorial on television for Kobe Bryant to keep the president's defense off of television as much as possible? Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, a toll-free call from anywhere, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You are on the air.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Just talking eating breakfast. I'm just swallowed.
Okay.
I think you're absolutely right. This has been pre-planned. In fact,
You're talking about the Bolton book. Is it fake news or real?
I remember last week I saw several panels on CNN and MSNBC where people were saying, they're making the argument for why we should have witnesses
Steve Kane
in
Show.
Trump's impeachment trial.
Hey.
And they were saying, someone's going to write a tell-all book. It's going to tell the whole story. So let's not wait for that book to come out. We need to have witnesses right now.
Yeah.
So, I think they were setting it up, and I think the Democrats, with the help of the New York Times, has gotten this out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be all over it, and it's going to be part of the argument that they're going to make to say, this is why we need to have witnesses in this trial.
Yeah.
Things like this.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be hearing from now until...
Well, okay, so what will John Bolton do? Will he do the honorable thing and come out and say, no, this is not in my book and it didn't happen? Or will John Bolton let this lie float out there because the pre-sales are making him major money right now?
As cynical as I've become about this whole process, Brian, I don't think he's going to say anything. I think he's going to let it. He's going to just let it.
Well, that's lying. If he to allow it to be out there uncorrected is to promote the lie.
Well, but like you said, it will also sell books, and I think that's what this is really all about.
Yeah.
He really cares. I think he first of all, I don't think he's any fan of Trump. I think they left on very unfriendly terms, and he's going to sit there and say, hey, if this hurts Trump, hey, no problem. I can live with that.
You know, he hasn't had a here. You know, John Bolton has not tweeted in 5 days. He could tweet out right now.
I don't think he's going to come to the rescue.
Well, then he's garbage.
Sector, and he's going to let it stay out there.
Well, then John Bolton is garbage. I mean, that's just, he's worse than Schiff and Nadler.
But
All right. Yeah, low life. He's a low life. If he does that, he's a low life. He should already have corrected the record. All right, appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Let's go to Steve in Royal Palm. Hey, Steve.
Morning, Brian. Okay, I'm living in bizarro world. The President of the United States is holding up monies to a country that is as dirty as they get. And the Democrat Party is going upside down, looking to promote this book. And then when the Bidens get caught and wind up getting put up on spikes because they're the crookest politicians we got lately, the Democrats will abandon them like crazy. So what am I missing here? The president is trying to save this country almost $500 million instead of giving it to a country that's as dirty as it gets. And the Democrats are protecting two of the most corrupt individuals in the news today. What am I missing?
Yeah. So so the story about the Bolton book you think is fake news, right?
Don't write a book. You have a whole lot of secrets about a whole lot of people, and you.
I do.
Near the president.
I do have secrets. What kind of secrets do you think I have on people?
Because you live so close to the president's home, people that know the president or may have seen him sometime in their life call you on the subject.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Well, so what do you think? You haven't really said. Is the story from the New York Times on the Bolton book true or not? Yes or no?
Personally, I'm sure Mr. Bolton has some inside information.
Yeah.
Whether it's worth anything or not is disputable.
Okay.
Times and their love for the president, as we all know, I'm sure would use every salacious thought that anybody could make and publish it and make it the news. I went online. I listened to the couple hours that the Republican lawyers spoke, and they said how there were numerous Congress people who originally declined giving any aid to the Ukraine before this happened, and they switched over.
Yeah.
Trump wants it, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I went online and I tried to find what Congress people did not want to give aid to Ukraine. You know what I came up with? Nothing.
Yeah.
The page.
Yeah.
I did come up with 9 million articles about Trump not wanting to give aid, but they buried whatever facts. And I'm sure that those lawyers were right, because if they were not, you'd shift and every one of those clowns would be all over the television denying it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I don't think it's true. I think it's fake news, and I think John Bolton is. If John Bolton is not on TV by 10 o'clock this morning, I will never. He's just a lowlife. Just a lowlife. I mean, it's just what he's doing is so wrong. So wrong.
Listen, everybody who has any negative thoughts about the President of the United States, all they got to do is write some kind of crappy book, whether it's true or not, and you have sycophants that will Costco and buy the book. They won't.
Oh yeah.
In Sam's, they won't find it in BJ's, but Costco will sell any piece of crap that knocks the president. Believe me, just do a little research. I belong to all three of them. I go in and look at the books that they have.
Yeah, my delay's always on.
And Costco.
Why, you want to call in and use profanity?
Every negative book, whatever you got, is out there for sale.
That's right. All right, Stephen Royal Palm, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right, our number, 888-GO-CANE1. Great calls, great comments from listeners today. It is Monday. We are here live. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. 888-465-2631. This is the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, and this is also the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America. All right, let's go to the phones. Conservative Doug. Hey, Doug.
Hey, good morning, good morning. You know, first of all, anything that comes out of the New York Times, you have to say, is a lie when it comes to Trump. So,
Well, I love how the New York Times, they're the only ones that have a manuscript, an advanced manuscript. No one else has one. So we're supposed to rely on the good word and reputation of the New York Times?
it's a good word, a Trump reputation. Yeah, I don't think it's true. I think it's a lie. They lie all the time. Well, maybe this time.
Yeah, but what about John Bolton? What about John Bolton? What is John Bolton going to correct the record today and stop pre-sales of his book that's not released till March, or is he going to let the lie hang out there to sell books? What's he going to do, John Bolton?
He's going to sell his books. He wants to make as much money, and he hates the president probably because he got fired.
Yeah.
What bad? But he's going to collect his books. Hey, I didn't do anything wrong. I just didn't say anything.
But you know what, though? I know things about people that I have had dealings with or worked for in the past that would damage them. I would never slander someone, lie about someone in any way whatsoever for personal gain. That's just not me. But, you know, John Bolton is part of that deep state, you know, that deep state that's been after Trump.
Yeah. Another Trump is, and they'll do anything to make money. And there's two kinds of people. There's honest people and there's dishonest people. A dishonest person, and I think he'll do anything to put some money in his.
Now, speaking of honest people, oh yeah, go to Kobe Bryant first. Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Thing. You know, when Trump's helicopter went down when he wasn't in the helicopter years and years ago, I put out for a patent to put a helicopter parachute. And I got turned down because there was a patent already. So anybody going in a helicopter is nuts because those things go down like an anchor.
Well, they can't, you know, unlike a small aircraft, they can't glide in. But when you're flying in thick fog in a mountainous area, sometimes they crash into the sides of mountains too. Do you think this helicopter of Kobe Bryant's went down due to mechanical error or the fog that they shouldn't have been flying in crashed into the mountain? What do you think?
I think it's heavy fog, man.
Yeah.
See, you can't fly.
Yeah.
Helicopter got to be nuts. I would never go in any helicopter.
No way.
Knowing that.
No way.
To save you because they don't have it. One last thing. You know, yesterday on, what's his name again? The great man, the great...
Mark Levin. Mark Levin had Schweitzer on last night.
You watch, you know, in a half hour, you could have closed the case out. There's no evidence. Nobody ever said anything that the president said anything wrong. No one. So this has just been a waste of taxpayer dollars. I don't know why the Republicans let it happen, but this is what we have.
Now, speaking of honest people, you mentioned on Friday, at the end of your call, you were on a long time, but you called in Friday. You stopped by Friendly Tire recently, again. Yeah. So tell me about your Friendly Tire experience recently. What's going on?
Two ball tires in the back of my Infinity.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize were bald until I just took a look, the back tires. So I called them up, and I always check prices first.
Yeah.
Of everybody else.
Half the price? Half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, his tires, which nobody, the tires I look at, had any mileage guarantee. His is, I think, 60,000 mile warranty.
Wow.
They're not only half the price, they're twice as good.
Well, that's interesting. So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. So you had two new tires. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road, and that's wonderful, Doug. That's great. I love hearing that. I love hearing that because
I could buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954 977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. All right, take care. Wow, that's a great story. I love hearing that we are helping people in this listening audience save money on their tires and not drive around on bald tires like he was doing. All right, let's take our break. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll take our break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Seeing a loss of your sexual desire, as well as your ability to have sex, period? This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. I am pleased to tell you about the latest breakthrough in sexual enhancement for women. It's called the O-Shot, and it will change your life. Increased sexual desire, increased sensitivity, and increased stimulation all can be yours with a simple, safe, and painless procedure done in our office in a matter of minutes. As an added benefit, the procedure is also effective in controlling urinary incontinence. If you are interested in better and more pleasurable sex, call my office today at 953-5490. That's area code 561-953-5490, and ask about the O-Shot.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right. Yeah, we are back. So the impeachment trial, Saturday, Trump's team are just sharp, man. You know, Trump always surrounds himself by the best. You know, that's what the Apprentice show was all about, right? What the Apprentice show was all about was surrounding himself with the top candidates to be the apprentice of Donald Trump, this great entrepreneur, and the one who was the best would get the job and be the apprentice. And he's obviously done that with his legal team. Were you not impressed with the president's legal team on Saturday? I was real. I mean, I knew they were great. I'd seen them before. I'm familiar with them. I've heard them before. But man, very, very short, sweet, concise presentation that totally discounted and discredited these Democrats led by Schiff and Spanky over there, Nadler. Good morning. You're on the radio. Hello? Yes, hello. Good morning. Hey, PJ. PJ, you're on the air. What's going on, PJ?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know where you got that there was not going to be anything in the Senate today. There actually is.
No, today at 1. No, I did say. No, somebody in the chat room said there wasn't going to be. No. It's the trial resumes at 1. I'm just wondering, PJ, if the mainstream media are going to use the death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter as an excuse to keep Trump's defense off of television as much as possible.
I don't know. Now that they have that fake New York Times story.
Oh, yeah, the fake John Bolton story. They'll focus in on that. Yeah. What? So,
if you actually read the wording, you got to be careful. You have to read the wording. He doesn't say outright that. He says that Trump preferred that.
Oh, I missed that part. He's preferred.
A thought. That's a thought.
Oh, the left do. The left do. So what will John Bolton do? Will he correct this or let the pre-sales continue and keep the lie floating out there in the news?
Well, you know, I mean, if he's the honorable guy, he would like correct the record, but
he hasn't yet. He hasn't corrected it yet. I mean, it's been about 12 hours.
hey, I consider, you know what? Let's term a new verb to Kavanaugh. This is just the Kavanaughing. That's what.
The Kavanaughing. I like that. The Kavanaughing. Yes, I like that. Yeah, Kavanaughing. Yeah. Yeah.
Like of the impeachment trial.
Well, you know, the timing of it, I find it interesting that the timing of this story was on the Sunday after the Democrats completed their argument, and really Monday starts a new news cycle. I know that the Trump's people talked on Saturday. The new news cycle begins on Monday, usually sometimes on Sunday when things leak out, but so they time this to start this new news cycle. I don't blame the book publisher. They're in the business of PR on books and getting people talking about the importance of books. But John Bolton, I thought, was an honorable man. And it shocked me to learn this morning when I was reading the news, there's an article in Breitbart about this, that Colonel Vindman's brother, the other Colonel Vindman, is the guy who's in charge of approving manuscripts for the National Security Council. I mean, what the hell?
You know, there's a little notice story. I don't know if you remember this. I forgot the name of the guy, but the guy, the Russian expert in the White House, they actually walked him out of the White House. It was like a week ago.
Yeah, I remember. Yes, that's right.
Connection here somehow.
A spy, another spy inside the White House. Yeah, yeah.
Funny is on Twitter. I mean, all these people reaction to liberals and reaction to the New York Times stories, it's like celebration time. They're like popping the champagne bottles, you know, like it's a big.
My podcast is amazing too, isn't it?
Absolutely jubilant, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. By the way, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot up this morning, okay? Because I talked to him about our conversation. Everything looks cool. No, call him this morning, and if you need me to be a part of the conversation, just have him conference me in if I'm off the air. It's got to be at 9, though. Can't do it while I'm on the air. But call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot this morning, all right? He's expecting your call. Okay, good. All right, take care. PJ at Newsbusters. He's good. I've known PJ for so many years. I've been reading his articles at Newsbusters forever. I love news. Do you guys follow Newsbusters? You guys know PJ Gladnick then, if you're a Newsbusters is it's like Breitbart, and it's great online news outlet, and that's how I discovered PJ. Oh gosh, over 15 years I've known PJ. I feel too young to know people 15 and 20 years, but I have some friends over 30 years. That's what happens when you get old. Oh man. All right, our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888. 465-2631, 888-465-2631. After the bottom of the hour break, I'm going to get into some of the audio sound bites. And, you know, it's very interesting because the impeachment trial was totally fizzling on them. I mean, people are bored. They're not interested, you know. And now they've got this Bolton bombshell to begin week 2 of it, which all of a sudden makes it interesting now. Makes it interesting. Because they want Bolton to testify, the Democrats. They want Bolton to testify. And I still stand by that when, you know, we saw this in Ferguson. Remember the Michael Brown shooting? In Ferguson, after the Michael Brown shooting, there were people all over the neighborhood that claimed to the media all kinds of things, right? That he had his hands up, don't shoot, the cop attacked him, and all that. Remember all that? A lot of people were doing street interviews with the media. And then there was a grand jury. And these people that were talking to the media were hauled in front of grand juries, and they raised their right hand and took an oath to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. And when it came time to either tell the truth or perjure themselves, they told the truth and said that Michael Brown attacked the police officer. And that's why that case fell apart. It's not against the law to lie to the media, right? It's not. You can lie to the media all day. When you're under oath, it's different, okay? So I believe the New York Times story on the Bolton book is fake news. I believe it's a lie. that John Bolton is letting hang out there to sell more, do more pre-sales of his book. I mean, I think that's obvious at this point. With that being said, though, you know, now this fake news story, the Democrats believe it because they want to believe it. They're like a young kid who knows there's no Easter Bunny, there's no Santa Claus, but they're at that point. They're transitioning from child to, you know, 11, 12. They don't want to. They want to believe even though they know. You understand what I'm saying? That's how the Democrats are with Bolton. They know it's not true, but they want to believe it, so they tune out that it's not true. And they have this fantasy they'll get him under oath, and then all will be revealed. All will be revealed. If they were to put John Bolton under oath, under penalty of perjury, he would tell the truth and nothing but the truth, which would be that there was no quid pro quo. Big difference in what John Bolton's doing right now than what he'll do when he's under oath. He's not perjuring himself right now. He's just about to lose his honor and respectability in American society, in my opinion, unless he corrects the record real quick. So, you know, these Democrats better be careful what they wish for. Still, they're not going to push McConnell into calling witnesses that he doesn't want to call. You know, Mitch McConnell said in his opening for this entire impeachment trial, no one is going to dictate the process in the Senate except United States senators. In the New York Times, Nadler and Schiff are not senators. So this isn't going to change anything in the mind of Mitch McConnell, but there's going to be tremendous pressure right now to get him to testify. Well, the media should just call him up for an interview. They all have his cell phone number on speed dial, John Bolton. John Bolton has been on every cable news network many, many times, especially the great Fox News channel. So has Fox News, when I was listening to these stories early this morning doing my show prep, I didn't hear anyone say, we've reached out to John Bolton and he's not returning our call. Have you, any of you heard that? I've not heard that. Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, the entire crew at Fox News Channel have John Bolton's cell phone number. Have any of them said, we have called John Bolton and he has not taken our call or not returned our message or refused to comment? So I'm wondering, are they even calling John Bolton for a comment? It seems to me that at this point, they're not even calling the man for a comment. All right, let's take our bottom of the hour break. It's 31 minutes after the hour. It's Monday morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E, and the number 1. 888-465-2631. All right, we'll be back.
If you suffer from excruciating back pain or sciatica, pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. According to a study in the medical journal Spine, back surgeries to alleviate back pain frequently backfire, leaving the patient in more pain than before they had the surgery. A second study from the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine provides clear evidence that 74% of surgeries for back pain fail. But there is an end to your suffering. There's a solution to your problem waiting for you with Dr. Troy Lemaski. Dr. Troy Lemaski is my personal chiropractor, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaski. Dr. Troy specializes in the elimination of back pain, sciatica, joint pain. He does it quickly, easily, and without surgery or pain medication. While he can help you with your back and neck pain, Dr. Troy also provides treatment for the hips, the shoulders, the knees. If you've been in a car accident, any type of injury, or slip and fall, the pain won't go away, well, you want to get back to your old self, you want to call Dr. Troy. His number 954-463-3036. That's 954-463-3036. Online at drtroylemaski.com. Tell him that Steve Kane sent you.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course you would. We all want to save more money. But But how? By calling I Will Advisors, that's how, at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have their expert team
Make sure you
review
guys
your
subscribe
homeowner's
if you
policy.
don't, okay?
I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow's the big day, by the way. Attorney Barry Siegel's workshops. Come meet Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig. Steve will be there at the 10 o'clock Medicaid planning workshop. I'll be there at the 2 o'clock Revocable Living Trust workshop. These are incredible workshops. If you've been to one and not the other, come back, go to both. A lot of times, I was mentioning this to Barry the other day, I meet listeners that I've met at these workshops in the past, and they bring friends or relatives. A lot of times people bring mom and dad because the burden often falls on the adult children when things happen. So the Medicaid planning workshop is at 10. Revocable Living Trust workshop is at 2. Courtyard by Marriott's the location in Boca Raton, which is immediately west of I-95 on the north side of Glades Road in Boca. Call Barry's office and let them know you're coming. They just want to know how large of a room, how many tables, how many chairs, and they do have refreshments, coffee, food, a little food there. They want to know how much of that they need too. His office number, 855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-FLA-ESTATE. And numerically, it's 855-352-3782. If you missed the number, it's listed at stevekaneshow.com. 855-352-3782. Come meet us tomorrow. Already, it's the 28th of January tomorrow. Steve Kane and I will be with Attorney Barry Siegel at his workshops tomorrow. Again, call Barry's office to let them know you're coming. 855-352-3782. So let me get to some of these audio sound bites. This was David Axelrod. And David Axelrod worked for Obama, liberal jerk. But I do enjoy the analysis on CNN from Axelrod and Van Jones because I find that they're honest. They're liberals, no doubt about it, but they're honest in their analysis. And David Axelrod on Saturday was talking about a focus group that he was involved in of Democrats. And he was talking about the focus group, a Democrat focus group, I think he'll say here, I think it was in Chicago. And this is him on CNN with a very honest comment. Listen. Wait a second, what's going on here? Oh, I did my reboot of the computer this morning. Where is my flash drive? Oh my goodness. Live radio, people. Live radio. It happens. Hold on. Let me get this together. I'm very upset here. Okay, hold on. Oh boy. I didn't save the file on the computer before I did a reboot. That's what happens, right? Let me see if it plays now, because I've got the file in there. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Okay, so this is David Axelrod, CNN over the weekend, talking about this focus group. Listen.
Focus group this morning for the Institute of Politics here at the University of Chicago with some Chicago Democratic voters. And it was chilling to hear them talk about this because impeachment didn't even come up. No one volunteered it for 80 minutes into the focus group. And, we're right in the middle of the trial. When it came up.
Wow. Isn't that something? So he's doing this focus group in Chicago, Democrats, a liberal focus group, by liberals, for liberals, and not one person in the focus group is even interested in the impeachment. It didn't come up till 80 minutes in, and it wasn't even voluntary. They brought it up to the focus group participants. So you've got, and this is really amazing what has happened here. So this circle of Trump haters impeach our president. They have this trial. They have a whole week of presenting their case. Really, they got extra days because the beginning, the opening. So they basically had 5 days, these Democrat hate mongers. And I was talking on Friday, maybe even Thursday, about how boring this was. It was just boring. It was terminal to watch. It was terminal. And I thought maybe I'm just jaded by an overdose of news, and now we're finding that even the Democrat base, according to Axelrod, are bored by it. They're uninterested in it. Probably because they've been going after this president too much from day one, right? Even when he was a candidate. They just haven't let off, and things are going so well in the country, they're just tuning it all out. So they do these focus groups. There's all this talk. People are not interested in impeachment. They're bored by it. They don't care about it. It's a failure. The Democrats have not presented their case. And then, boom, over the weekend, some bombshell from Bolton to breathe some life into it. And, the Democrats, they're running around saying there'll be no legitimate acquittal unless there are witnesses. They had as many witnesses as they wanted in the House. But now, all of a sudden, they've been pushing for Bolton for the last couple of weeks. Last week, really hard. Now they're going to use this. Their friends at the New York Times have reported fake news about John Bolton in his book to try to give people like Mitt Romney and other traitor Republicans in the Senate the excuse they need. Well, we have to hear from John Bolton now. We don't have to hear from John Bolton in this trial. He could go on Fox this morning. He could go on CNN this morning and tell us everything we need to know, that it's not true. But he's not doing that because John Bolton, if he doesn't do that by 9 or 10 o'clock today, John Bolton is in collusion with the Democrats to get himself called as an impeachment witness. Careers are made being connected to these impeachments. Look, one of the House managers, that old lady. I'd forgotten her name. What's her name? Lofgren? She was involved in the Nixon impeachment, and here she is. She turned it into a House seat, a whole lifetime career. You watch CNN and MSNBC, CNN more so than any of the rest. Every day they got some other person I've never heard of before with blue hair that was involved in the impeachment that never happened of Richard Nixon. How many people did they have on that staff? My goodness. People make entire careers being connected to these impeachments. And John Bolton is looking to make one. There was a story last week that Michael Cohen was trying to get out of jail early. Why do you think Michael Cohen's this story is trying to get out of jail early? I mean, obviously no one wants to be in jail, but what the real reason is that they're trying to get Michael Cohen out of jail early because they would like to have him out of jail and on CNN talking Trump during this impeachment trial. They failed. It doesn't look like he's getting out in time. But Michael Cohen, from the moment he gets out of jail for the rest of his life, will be on CNN and or MSNBC talking Trump for the rest of his life. He'll be like John Dean with Nixon. John Dean's always been there. I've always heard of John Dean. Anytime there's anything about politics, John Dean's on there. Michael Cohen's going to be the new John Dean because John Dean's getting old. So they need someone a little younger for the next 35, 40 years of slanders against Republicans, and it's going to be Michael Cohen. Oh, I got to tell you, over the weekend, unrelated to all these things I'm talking about because I don't want to forget, over the weekend I found a new podcast that the LA Times has done about Bill Cosby. It's called Chasing Cosby. Chasing Cosby. And I listened to the first 3 episodes. They're only about 35, 40 minutes. I was on a long drive on Saturday, so I was listening in the car. And I don't know if they've come up with the 4th episode or not. It's called Chasing Cosby. It is I did not realize how bad of a man Cosby was. I mean, I've heard the stories, but I didn't realize how much he was carrying on. It's really unbelievable. and I'm sure everybody knew about it. It seemed everyone knew about it, just like with Harvey Weinstein. But Chasing Cosby, it's just Google the Chasing Cosby podcast. It's on iTunes, Apple Podcast, and I'm sure elsewhere. But check it out. It is fascinating. It's called Chasing Cosby, and it's put out by the LA Times. It is really detailed. They interview all these different women, and they're all credible, and I believe them all. And it's really shocking to me the way that Bill Cosby carried on. And, that's why Harvey Weinstein doesn't understand, why is this happening to me? This is what it's always been like out here. Yeah. How long is Cosby in prison for? He's well into his 80s. When is he supposed to get out? I'm not sure, but, this guy should never get out. When you listen to this podcast, and they interview the women who tell their stories, and one of the women, Cosby was involved with the mother. One of the one girl that was from Canada, after Cosby had raped her, drugged her and raped her, she went back home to Toronto, and the girl's mother got Cosby's cell phone number from the daughter and was involved in phone conversations about all of this with Cosby, of which some she recorded. And Bill Cosby is sicker than I even realized. I mean, I believe the stories, but when you hear these women tell the stories, oh my goodness. I mean, what a creep. And you got to wonder, what I wonder? How many people knew that we follow, even because he was doing this back in the days of I Spy, which was in the 60s. And for a black man to get away with raping white women in the 60s, that's really unheard of. And it's really unfortunate. And that, during the 70s and 80s, racial issues were finally being ironed out. And the first two black men to really break free of black identity and be mainstream, Bill Cosby and O.J. Simpson. I know some may say Sidney Poitier was the first. I don't know about that. Bill Cosby and O.J. Simpson were the two first celebrities to transcend race. And both of them just did terrible, terrible things. Terrible things. And in the case of Bill Cosby, when you listen to this podcast, Chasing Cosby, which you all should listen to, wait till after 9 o'clock, of course, when I go off the air. Don't listen now. Listen when Glenn Beck's on the air. People around him had to know. I mean, how many people knew on his television show? And I think about I Spy, that was back in the 60s with Robert Culp. How many people connected with that show and the network knew about him? And, here you have, this was going on during the Cosby Show days, and it's hard for me to believe that NBC was not aware of what was going on. But, big star, big hit. So they let him get away with it. And then you got to think about it. NBC also had Matt Lauer. So NBC, was O.J. Simpson with NBC Sports? I want to think that he was. NBC, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure O.J. Simpson was with NBC Sports. NBC, they have a long history of covering up for people doing terrible things. And even on Saturday Night Live, John Belushi, they were allowing him and even financing his drug use back in the John Belushi days of Saturday Night Live. So NBC, which of course has MSNBC today, and very left-wing, challenging Trump, calling our senators out. Look at the history of NBC with O.J., Matt Lauer, Bill Cosby. Boy, and NBC, they're pointing fingers at President Trump for things he didn't do. Shame on NBC, right? Look what they did to, or attempted to do, to Ronan Farrow. Well, yeah. All right, let's take our last break of the second hour. It's 47 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. That's right. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, Mom and Dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for Dump.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, and you know, we're always looking for ways to save people money in the listening audience, right? That's a great thing to do, save money. And there's a great way for you to save money, right? That's call Debbie over at I Will Advisors and have her review your homeowner's insurance policy. You know, your homeowner's insurance goes up each and every year. You just don't realize it. Most people have their homeowner's policy connected to their mortgage. So, you know, each year your mortgage payments typically go down because you're paying down principal, and your homeowner's insurance rates go up at the same amount that your mortgage payment is reduced, so the payment stays about the same every year. I know, it's a racket, I know, but Debbie at I Will Advisors, she'll get you out of that racket. Have her review your policy. It costs you nothing. The only thing that could happen here is you save money. She'll review your policy, and you should review your homeowner's insurance policy every year. I review mine every year. Steve just reviewed his. He reviews his every year, too. And she will save you money. If your homeowner's policy is connected to your mortgage, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but if it is, and Debbie reduces your homeowner's insurance premiums, you know, you've just reduced your mortgage payment in effect, because that payment every month will go down because the homeowner's insurance policy premium has gone down. I know, isn't that wonderful? I know, it's great, isn't it? I've even gotten a couple times, I've gotten checks back from the insurance company of quite a bit of money because I reduced it, was overpaying, boom. Because they put the money in escrow and then they pay it, and because I reduced it, there was too much in escrow, I got that check back, and it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She'll do this at no charge. The only thing that can happen, again, is you save money, right? Nothing to lose on that one. 954-753-8080 is her number. Debbie at I Will Advisors. You can call right now and leave a message. They will call you back. If you're an overnight listener and you're listening in the middle of the night, call Debbie at I Will Advisors, leave them a message, and they'll call you back during business hours, okay? So you overnight listeners, you call right now too. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. It's a great deal. It's something I discovered a long time ago, reviewing every year my homeowner's insurance policy. 954-753-8080. Okay, so let me get to the, this fake news of John Bolton. If you're just tuning in, Now, let me recap the John Bolton story before I get into the rest of these sound bites. It's really disgusting what's going on. Now, I think most people that follow the news know that John Bolton has a book coming out. He does. In March. We're still in January, right? There's a week almost left in January. He has a book coming out in March. New York Times says they received a transcript of the book. And the transcript says that in the book, John Bolton says, I know, it's like the game of telephone. How many people removed are we? He says, she says, they wrote about it. But the New York Times is reporting that in the manuscript they received, John Bolton says in his book that President Trump told him to withhold the aid from Ukraine until he investigated political opponents, including the Biden family. Trump says this is not true. New York Times, they're the only ones that have seen the book. The book doesn't come out till March. It's available for pre-order. They keep saying in the media, the book's available on Amazon. Not really. It's available for pre-order. So we can't verify whether or not this is in the book or not. Fake news by the fake New York Times. John Bolton still has not corrected the record. He has not tweeted in 5 days. He is under pressure from Trump, conservatives, honorable people to do the right thing. He's being pressured, I'm sure, by his publishers, his PR people, not to correct the record because they're making major bank here on the pre-sales. It's disgusting what John Bolton's doing. And the Democrats' impeachment trial was a complete failure. People are bored by it. Remember, I played this clip earlier. I'll play this one. This is Axelrod, CNN, over the weekend.
Focus group this morning for the Institute of Politics here at the University of Chicago with some Chicago Democratic voters. And it was chilling to hear them talk about this because impeachment didn't even come up. No one volunteered it for 80 minutes.
So 80 minutes, a focus group of Democrats, no one seemed interested in the, according to David Axelrod, their focus group was not interested in the impeachment. And this is not how it was supposed to be. They thought America would be sitting around their TVs watching the impeachment trial. Problem is, for the Democrats, is that Donald Trump has been doing such a great job with the economy. There are not as many people home watching TV all day. There are more people employed than ever, right? The unemployment rate is at its lowest levels, the employment rate at its highest levels. And people don't have time to watch TV all day because they're working. And when they're not working, they've got so much extra money, they're enjoying themselves, not watching TV. They're out and about doing things. So the impeachment trial has been a complete failure. And just coincidentally, after the Democrats crash and fail, I guess I shouldn't use that reference today, but after the Democrats fail in their case, boom, all of a sudden they've got this fake news story from the New York Times. And I'm still looking. Has anyone heard someone on Fox say, I called John Bolton, he's not taking my call. I called John Bolton, got him on the phone, he will not comment. Has Fox News even attempted to reach out to John Bolton to correct this? Doesn't seem like they have. And I don't want to hear anything. Well, we're calling the PR people. John Bolton worked at Fox News Channel. There are people there, many people, with his private cell phone number. Call him. In fact, I got to tell you, Sean Hannity, I'm sure if he doesn't have Bolton's cell phone number, has access to it. Sean Hannity on the radio today should call John Bolton live on the air. And if he doesn't answer, do it. Dial the digits on the air, let it ring, and let's hear his voicemail if he doesn't answer. Or if he answers, ask him the question live. Do it. Do it, Sean Hannity. I know you got the number. If you don't, you can get it. Tucker will give it to you. Laura Ingraham will give it to you, I'm sure. Call him live on the air. Have John Bolton either say that it's true or correct the record. Who's publishing John Bolton's book? Is John Bolton's book being published by a liberal publishing house or the same publishing house that publishes the Fox News personalities' books? I don't know. But this has got to be corrected. It's got to be corrected. It should be corrected by John Bolton. It should be done this morning. What's going on here is outrageous. Oh, man, I tell you. No president should ever have to go through this. And don't tell me Bill Clinton. This is not what Bill Clinton went through. Bill Clinton was out there doing crime, people. I'll get to more of my sound bites after the top of the hour in the third hour of the show. But I tell you, I don't know how President Trump does it. How many people out there could put up with this kind of harassment, like the harassment that President Trump puts up with? You know, I was talking earlier, PJ called, and I've known PJ for like 15, 16 years, you know, and I've got friends that I've known over 30 years now. And that's what happens. As you grow older, you have friends that you've known for 20 years, 30 years, 35 years. And it's crazy because I don't feel old enough to have friends that I've known for 30, 35 years, but I do. And the reason I don't feel old enough for that is not because I'm not old enough. I certainly am. I am 48 years old, soon to be 49 years old. And the reason I don't feel old enough to know people 30 years and 35 years, even though I do, is because of Dr. Mitch Matez and hormone replacement pellet. He's been in the hormone and anti-aging practice for a long, long time. You know, Dr. Mitch Matez brought hormone replacement pellet therapy to South Florida. He was the first to do it. And this is what he does all day, every day, is anti-aging. A lot of doctors do anti-aging medicine and hormone therapy and things like this. It's kind of like a sideline. And not kind, it is. It is a sideline. Not for Dr. Mitch Matez. This is what he does all day, every day. And hormone replacement pellet therapy, they've restored my hormone levels to where they were when I was in my 20s. That's why I don't feel as old as I am. I feel great. Hormone replacement pellet therapy gives you your energy back, restores your sex drive, gives you the ability to have sex if you have a problem in that area. In your energy level, oh my goodness, where would I be? You know where I'd be if it was not for Dr. Mitch Matez and hormone replacement pellet therapy? I'd be asleep. That's where I'd be. You know, that midday crash that I used to get before I started hormone replacement pellet therapy, gone. I've got energy that lasts all day, and I don't have time to sleep a lot. I sleep 4 or 5 hours a night, and I'm going and going and going all day. My energy level has been more than doubled. And I'll tell you, hormone replacement pellet therapy, these are the natural hormones that your body makes, but as you grow older, doesn't make as much. So hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. You will feel better. You will look better, too. You'll feel better, look younger. And women, of course, the signs and symptoms of menopause completely stopped and reversed. The night sweats, the mood swings, vaginal dryness. Women, you will get your sex drive back, too. Now, for Steve Kane listeners, it's a completely free consultation with Dr. Mitch Matez. So take advantage of that. Completely free. I went through that consultation, even though I'd heard so much about hormone replacement pellet therapy from Dr. Mitch Matez on the air over the years, and it will be eye-opening for you. It's free consultation, but you've got to mention the Steve Kane Show. Dr. Matez's number, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And online, hormonetherapybocaratone.com. Hormonetherapybocaratone.com. Call Dr. Mitch Matez, all right? He will change your life. Talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. No matter, and by the way, he has patients that are in their 30s. He has patients that are in their 80s. It'll also restore, you got cognition, memory issues. It helps with that too. Oh my goodness, does it help with that? 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll be right back.
3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course you would. We all want to save more money. But how? By calling I Will Advisors, that's how, at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences, up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends.
Good morning,
Soul
everyone. Make sure you
Authority.
subscribe. If you're not,
Soul
subscribe
Authority
and click that
at little or no
notification bell.
cost,
If
you
you're
can
watching on a
receive your
mobile
very
device,
own,
just close out the
pair of
chat and the
therapeutic
subscribe
shoes
and
made
notification
specially
button are
for
right there.
diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesouleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
This is your special
So you gotta,
invitation to attend
I might be the first in town with this. Star Trek Picard.
Be sure you and your family
I
are
ordered this
properly
shirt on
protected, even if you
Thursday,
already have
and
a
I got it
trust.
in the
Learn
mail
to
on
avoid
Saturday.
losing
I
an
couldn't
inheritance
believe
to
it.
predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits,
They're working hard for
government
people to
agencies,
promote
and
this.
the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott.
Yes,
in
good morning,
Boca.
Debbie.
To
Good
attend
morning,
this free
Katina.
event,
Good morning,
call
everyone. Make sure you
1-855
subscribe,
FLA
people.
Estate 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888.
All righty. Third and final hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. It is Monday morning. We've been talking a lot about the big issues in the news in the previous 2 hours of the program. Just an hour, just 55 minutes are left. We've been talking about the Kobe Bryant crash. We've been talking about how will the media use the Kobe Bryant crash to keep the Trump defense off of television this week, perhaps. You know, there's all kinds of things to talk about. And, of course, this John Bolton bombshell fake news story. How long until John Bolton corrects the record? And now I'm looking at the Daily Mail today, and they're saying here, this is a headline, chilling warning to chopper pilot carrying Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 friends as they flew 90 miles in fog to basketball practice at his academy before dying in a hillside crash. So they're telling us they're blaming the fog. In the fog, they're going to blame the pilot. And, you know, it was about this in the first hour. You know, private pilots flying in conditions that they should not be flying in. You know, like John F. Kennedy Jr. Oh, boy, with John F. Kennedy Jr., not just a loss for his family, but his wife's family, they lost both their kids. His wife and sister-in-law were in that on that flight with John F. Kennedy Jr. But, you know, private pilots like the pilot of Kobe Bryant's helicopter, flying in fog that he shouldn't have been flying in. What do you think happens in these situations? Is it the pilot just doesn't want to tell their employer no? No, we can't fly. Sorry, you got to drive today. How do you think this happens? Or does the celebrity or rich person say, let's fly anyway, and the pilots cave because they're afraid they'll be replaced? I don't know. How does a pilot of a private aircraft like this end up flying in unsafe conditions like the fog, flying through the mountains in fog? Yeah, that's brilliant. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. And I just was seeing here in the Daily Mail, a Washington Post journalist is suspended after tweeting a link to a 2016 story about the Kobe Bryant rape case just hours after he died. You know, it seems Twitter gets people in trouble all the time. You hear about people all the time getting jammed up because they tweet something. I don't believe the allegations against Kobe Bryant in that case. I don't believe them. I never believed them. I really didn't. You know, and I saw some interviews yesterday that were past interviews with Kobe Bryant. There was one in particular. There was this guy on Fox yesterday who's an old-time TV sports guy, and I don't know his name because I don't follow sports. I've never seen a basketball game more than a few seconds of any level, high school, college, pro. I've never liked basketball, never watched it. Played it with some friends, played 21 a few times. That's about it, you know. But anyway, this Fox News reporter, sports guy, old timer, I did not know Kobe Bryant's dad was a pro basketball player. I had no idea. First time I heard that was yesterday. And this guy said on Fox that he's known Kobe Bryant since he was a baby in his mother's arms because he knew the father and covered the father when he played. I guess he played for Philadelphia, I guess, the father. You know, and and I saw some interviews with Kobe yesterday, including this one from this Fox guy. He was saying it was the last interview that Kobe Bryant did while in uniform. It was when he was retiring. And he always seemed like a good guy to me. I mean, I just seemed like a good guy. Not some sleaze bucket like Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby. And I never believed those stories. But this Washington Post reporter being suspended for tweeting a link to one of those stories, is that appropriate? I don't mean the tweeting of it, her being suspended. You know, should reporters be mentioning this? There was another reporter on television yesterday who's in some hot water for referencing these allegations against him. I wouldn't do it because I don't think it's in good taste to do right now. I just don't think it's in good taste. So I wouldn't do it. But it is part of his story and a part of his background and history. And for people like me, we only know Kobe Bryant through those stories because I never followed basketball. Never followed basketball. I don't follow sports. Athlete, the only time I even know about athletes is when there's a scandal for the most part because I don't follow sports. But the media, this is at all levels. This is local media as well as national media. Media make a lot of money. These media companies make huge money off sports. And they really don't like any negative reporting about athletes. Remember back in the 90s, there was a writer who used to be a writer for Sports Illustrated who wrote a book called The National Felon League about all these crimes that had been committed by pro football players that were covered up because they were great football players that were currently playing in the league. Remember that book? We had the guy on the show a couple of times. I can't remember his name. I'll look it up. And the media, they make so much money off of sports. They're always afraid of getting locked out. And I remember Steve many years ago, before I worked with Steve, when he was on WIOD. When Steve was on WIOD was during the NFL strike, and he got into a lot of heat because he was he was attacking Dan Marino, who was one of the leaders, and the strike was going on, and because he wasn't sympathetic, the station management came down on him pretty hard because they had the contract to carry the Dolphin games. The media have always covered for athletes, just like the schools and others cover for them. But so far as Kobe Bryant, he seemed to have been a good guy to me. Regardless of this, what led to this terrible accident, flying in these foggy conditions. We may never know how this happened, who made the decision or pushed. Well, the pilot obviously made the decision, but how the pilot ended up flying in conditions that were unsafe, we may never know. Unless there were some people that were involved or overheard a discussion on the ground that were not on the helicopter. But I find it impossible to believe that Kobe Bryant pushed a helicopter pilot to fly in unsafe conditions when he had his child with him. So I don't think Kobe Bryant had, because private aircraft owners can put pressure on pilots to fly in conditions, and maybe they cave a lot. They probably do. But when you're flying with your child, do you see Kobe Bryant putting pressure on a pilot to fly in unsafe, foggy conditions with his daughter, or do you think the the pilot just did it. I think it would be the pilot more than Kobe. I don't see Kobe doing that. I just don't see that being the case. And so far as these reporters, this one at the Washington Post, suspended after tweeting a link to a 2016 story about Kobe Bryant's rape case just hours after he died. Now again, I wouldn't do that because it's in bad taste. But should reporters be covering that up? Isn't that part of Kobe Bryant's story that is fair game? Now, I've heard people in the chat room tell me that Kobe Bryant may have been flying the helicopter. Yeah, I did hear yesterday, and I didn't hear this confirmed, but that he was also a pilot. I didn't know that. I heard that yesterday. I haven't heard it confirmed. But maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But if the conditions were so thick in fog where the police wouldn't let their helicopters fly, it's something you've got to see. Have you ever been in a situation where you wouldn't drive in fog? I have. I've pulled over during fog before and not driven in fog. Fog is pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Right? No, it can be pretty scary. I find it impossible to believe that Kobe Bryant made a decision to fly in an unsafe, foggy condition with his child on board. I just find that impossible to believe. And so far as the pilot, who was flying the helicopter, I haven't heard anything other than rumor that Kobe may have been flying. What I've heard is that the pilot was in radio communication with the ground a little bit. So, at least the private pilot that worked for Kobe was manning the radio. I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out more soon because speculation on these things is terrible and we need to find as much information. I was surprised to learn that Kobe Bryant was Catholic. Did you guys know Kobe Bryant? Maybe everybody knows this because I don't follow basketball. But I did not know that he was Catholic. And not just Catholic. I mean, he was a practicing, very religious Catholic from everything I've read, which is great stuff. All right, let's take our first break of the last hour of the program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Sell your house or buy your dream home, then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each and every month?
Make sure you guys all subscribe. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, click that notification bell, share on all your social media, get your friends to subscribe.
954-753-8080 and have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what do you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWE.
We are back, and Dr. Gupta over at Brighton Dental, you heard Lori Kane there talking about it. Brighton Dental, for Steve Kane listeners, offer free exams and free x-rays. So when you call Brighton Dental, tell them you heard about them on the radio and mention the free exam and free x-rays, because they're only offering this for Steve Kane listeners. Dr. Gupta does not want cost to stop you from taking care of your dental health. Free exam, free x-rays. And if you've been to another dentist and they have told you need any type of procedure, small or large, even if it's scheduled, free second opinion at Brighton Dental. Mention that as well when you call. Here's the number. If you miss the number, listed at stevekaneshow.com. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. All right, so now they've got this Bolton hope. The mainstream media and the Democrats, I talk about this a lot, they've always got this scheme, and there's always this one hope. They're always, now it's Bolton. New York Times has a fake news story. We get Bolton in there, that's it. The whole house of cards will fall. The Trump people will wake up, and boom, he'll be removed from office. I mean, last week was devastating for the media and the Democrats. It was not the trial they had been expecting. And when Trump's people came in on Saturday, it was just like they were just masters. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And the wind had been let out of, the media were just totally depressed. Did you see Jeffrey Toobin? I used to like Jeffrey Toobin. He wrote an incredible book on the O.J. Simpson trial that was made into a mini-series for FX a couple years ago called The People versus O.J. Simpson, and Cuba Gooding Jr. played O.J., and it was incredible. I watched the whole thing. It's like 5 parts. It was spectacular. And Toobin wrote the book that they made that into. But when it comes to Trump, as great as Jeffrey Toobin is when it comes to O.J. Simpson, that Trump derangement syndrome just overtakes his mind and he loses control. So Saturday, Trump's team comes out and just body slams the whole Democrat case. It's like it's the dream team, as we've been saying. Top attorneys, best in their field, just did an incredible job. And Toobin gave some analysis. Listen to this. This is Jeffrey Toobin in his analysis of the Trump team.
White House and white people. This is a lesson in the diversity of the two parties. And you look at the House managers, it was almost evenly divided between men and women. You had 2 African Americans, you had a Hispanic. Look, it was all white men today. There are two white women on allegedly on the team. We'll see if they're allowed to argue. But I think, in a visual medium, when you have one side that has a very diverse team, and the other side that's all white men, that says something in and of itself.
Okay, so Jeffrey Toobin, he's kind of like the Judge Napolitano of CNN. He's there for legal analysis, right? He's a lawyer. He's there for his legal analysis. And Jeffrey Toobin, the only legal analysis he could give, honestly, is the Democrats have no case. Whatever they thought they had was totally destroyed by these top-tier attorneys. So he's playing the race card. And what Jeffrey Toobin really did, listen to what he said. He says, look at the House Democrats. 2 white, 2 black, right? Then there's a woman, old lady, white lady, there's diversity. Trump's team, it's all white. Well, Jeffrey Toobin, I know it's pathetic, isn't it? It really is. Jeffrey Toobin made a textbook case for the dangers of affirmative action. And I'll tell you, if the Democrats put together a team not based on gender and skin color, and put together a team like Trump. Trump didn't put together a team based on gender or skin color. He says, I'm facing trial, I want the best. Get me the best. So he went out and got the best. And he won over the weekend. Now, of course, he's got truth on his side, and, that helps. He didn't do any crime. That helps, too. If the Democrats instead of trying to be gender and ethnicity, diversity, and all this affirmative action, if they just would have hired the best of the best in their field, last week would have turned out a little differently, probably. Because, when you have great attorneys, top-tier attorneys like Trump has, even when on a losing side, they can gain a little momentum. I mean, look at O.J. Simpson, guilty as hell. Guilty as hell. Evidence all over the place, his blood everywhere. He had Ron Goldman's blood inside his vehicle, the Ford Bronco. People don't remember that. Remember all that? But because O.J. Simpson had put together a team of the best attorneys, Johnny Cochran and Alan Dershowitz and Barry Scheck, boom, look what happened. A man guilty as sin, acquitted, boom, walks free. That's what happens. When you apply affirmative action, you're done. You're done. Because you're getting people that are not the best. You're getting someone because they're a woman or because they're black. So Jeffrey Toobin made a very good case against the application of affirmative action in hiring, because when you're looking to do the hiring, you want to hire the best, and it just so happens in this case the best. I didn't even think about them being all white. Did any of you think about that? Jeffrey Toobin did. So Adam Schiff then goes on, he is just a sad person, Schiff. I mean, he just has no conscience whatsoever. He is so comfortable saying whatever it is he wants to say and has to say and needs to say and can say, and whether it's truthful or not, he doesn't care. So now his latest thing is Trump is threatening him. He's being threatened by the president. Is this going to be a new charge? When they're saying the president's going to be acquitted by Friday. I don't know. With this John Bolton, the Democrats are going to be pushing so hard now to have John Bolton come out. I don't know about this Friday business. But now Schiff, he's being threatened by the president. Let me play this because then I got to follow it too. This is Schiff yesterday.
The president's tweets about me today saying that I should pay a price. You take that as a threat? I think it's intended to be.
The president said I should pay a price. I think that's an intended threat. Ooh, wow. Paying a price is a threat. Well, the problem with that is that I think it might 2 weeks ago at the most, maybe even less than 2 weeks ago, the House Madam. See, I like calling Nancy Pelosi Madam Speaker. That's her. They call her Madam Speaker, and I enjoy calling her Madam Speaker because when I think of a madam, I think of a brothel, and she's in charge of a whorehouse, basically, of Democrats in the House of Representatives. So I think Madam Speaker is a very good title for him. It fits perfectly. So Schiff says that he's being threatened by the president.
Tweets about me today saying that I should pay a price. You take that as a threat? I think it's intended to be.
Wow, the president paying a price is a threat. Well, here is Madam Speaker Pelosi. Listen.
It's about a fair trial. They take an oath to have a fair trial, and we think that would be with witnesses and documentation. So that dynamic has, now the ball is in their court to either do that or pay a price.
Oh, pay a price! Ooh. So, Adam Schiff, is Nancy Pelosi threatening Republicans? Right? She said Republicans will pay a price if they don't have witnesses. Okay. We think of the price being like public opinion, elections. Trump says Schiff should pay a price. That's a threat. So if Schiff thinks that the president was threatening him when he said should pay a price, isn't Nancy Pelosi threatening the senators, the Republican senators, when she says if they don't do what she wants, they'll pay a price? If one's a threat, the other one has to be, or neither of them are threats. I say neither of them are threats, but Adam Schiff says that it's a threat. I tell you, when it comes to these Democrats and this impeachment and this Trump derangement, they're in such another world. And I'll tell you that John Bolton will be facing the biggest test he has ever faced today. If he is not on TV by 10 o'clock, either confirming or denying the New York Times reports about his book, He is a man with as much integrity as Adam Schiff. Now, people are wondering, Jeffrey Toobin playing the race card, what's his ethnicity? Jeffrey Toobin, like me, is, to quote Trayvon Martin, a creepy ass cracker. That's right. Now, tomorrow is the big day, people. Big day. Attorney Barry Siegel's 2 workshops are tomorrow. Come meet Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig. Steve's been under the weather lately, but he will be back tomorrow, and he will be at Attorney Barry Siegel's workshop. Steve's had a pretty bad cold and or flu last week, and that's why he was out a couple days last week, and that's why he's out today. But I talked to Steve last night and this morning, and he will be there. He'll be here tomorrow and there tomorrow. Attorney Barry Siegel workshops. The first one is Medicaid planning, which is absolutely vital for everyone to attend. I mean, it is. Your eyes will be opened in this one. Steve will be at the Medicaid planning workshop, which is at 10. I'm going to be at the Revocable Living Trust workshop at 2. And, you know, these workshops are incredible. You get to ask questions of the attorney and his staff at no charge, and you will learn a lot. I've been to several of these, and I learn a lot every single time. I was talking earlier, I've noticed at Barry Siegel's workshops, I've met people that I've met at previous workshops, and they bring family members. Sometimes they bring friends. Sometimes they bring their mom, their dad, and even both, because they want their friends and family to take care of business as well. So the Medicaid planning workshop is at 10. Steve Kane will be there. The Revocable Living Trust workshop is at 2. I'm going to be at that one. They're both completely free. They are at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. The Courtyard by Marriott is immediately west of I-95 on the north side of Glades Road in Boca. When you walk in to the lobby of the Courtyard by Marriott, there's a sign right there directing you to go where we will be. Okay, it's completely free. Barry asked that you call his office to let them know you're coming so they know how much space they need, how many tables, chairs, etc. The number is at stevekaneshow.com if you miss it, but I'm going to give it to you right now. Toll free, Barry Siegel's office, 855-FLA-ESTATE. 855-FLA-ESTATE. 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782. All right, my name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll take our break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Homeowners, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm here to cut your electric bill and save you a lot of money. Perhaps even eliminate your electric bill altogether. We do this by making your entire home energy efficient, by upgrading some or all of the following: roofs, doors, windows, insulating your attic, AC systems and ducts, hot water heaters, and even adding solar. Energy efficient improvements that actually pay for themselves over a short period of time. Our program is designed to make the savings on your electric bill pay for all or part of your low monthly payments. The PACE program is government sponsored and gives you up to 30 years to pay. Requires no credit check, no money down, no income verification, and no payments for up to 18 months. You only need to be current on your mortgage and taxes for the last 3 years to qualify. Energy savings and hurricane solutions made easy. Call 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500 to start saving money now.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course you would. We all want to save more money. But how? By calling I Will Advisors. That's how. At 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning seminar. Learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life, being forced to spend down your assets, how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and more. This free Medicaid planning seminar is Tuesday, January 28th at 10 a.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
All right, and we're just a little more than 24 hours away from Attorney Barry Siegel's 2 workshops, the Medicaid Planning at 10, Revocable Living Trust at 2. And on the line, we have Attorney Barry Siegel. Barry, who should come to these workshops tomorrow?
Well, anybody who wants to protect their assets, anybody who doesn't want to have to worry about the idea of running out of money because they or their spouse become ill and have to deal with the high cost of that kind of care, either at home or in a facility. And if you haven't planned in any way, if you don't have insurance to cover those expenses, then you definitely want to come and listen and find out, very likely that you may be eligible to get benefits at some point if you or your spouse ever need this care. And it's really about being prepared. Whether you come in the morning for the Medicaid and learn about how to protect your assets during your lifetime, or in the afternoon at 2 p.m. to learn about living trust and estate planning. Again, it's about being prepared. And you know, in light of the news from yesterday, where we heard about a 41-year-old NBA legend and his 13-year-old daughter.
That's right.
Very tragically, out of nowhere, just lost their lives, and yeah, horrible things like that unfortunately happen. It's so random, and you know, we just need to be prepared.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and again, everyone's invited. It's completely free. Call Attorney Barry Siegel's office just to let them know you're coming, okay? And the number is 855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782. Again, Medicaid Planning at 10, Revocable Living Trust at 2. And they're both at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca, immediately west of I-95 on the north side of Glades Road in Boca. All right, Barry, take care. We'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Yeah, please come. Very important stuff. Now, Joe Rogan over the weekend endorsed Bernie Sanders, and I know a lot of people don't. Oh, who cares what Joe Rogan? I listen to Joe Rogan's show on occasion. He's pretty good. I don't always agree with him. Please don't assume that because I enjoy his program, Joe Rogan, that I agree with him. But a lot of people wonder, who cares that Joe Rogan, why is this important, Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie Sanders? Joe Rogan is huge. He's probably one of the most influential men in America today. As crazy as that sounds, he has millions of listeners and viewers. So his endorsement is more important than people realize. It carries more weight than people realize. He's number one, Bernie Sanders, in a poll in New Hampshire I saw this morning. He is the real front runner in the Democrat Party, not Joe Biden. And the media and the Democrats are trying to suppress him, just like they did last time. And, you know, I've been talking about this a lot. Bernie is not going to win the nomination. The powers that be are not going to let Bernie Sanders win the nomination. He is the front runner. And I know there's a lot of people saying they're going to get so much blowback after this. This is Bernie Sanders' final run as president. I mean, he's getting up there. He's not going to be able to run again after this, probably. And the Democrat Party have made a decision to take. They know they're going to lose the election to Trump. They know this. They've made a choice to betray their base, to stop Bernie Sanders from getting the nomination, just like in 2016, and they'll take the flack because they're going to lose to Trump this time anyway. So they figure we'll take the flack. In 4 years, we'll come back. They've made that decision. And Bernie Sanders gave an interview, and now the mainstream media and the left are trying to turn Bernie Sanders into a racist. They've got this story about him going to school with not very many black people. He went to public school. There weren't a lot of black people. And let me play this exchange. He was being interviewed by a black woman who I've never heard of before. And let me play, and then we'll talk about it. This is Bernie Sanders. They're trying to turn him into a racist now. Can you imagine? This is what they're doing.
Student classroom were black?
One.
That was in elementary. How many students in your high school, in the class that you were in, were black?
It was a minority, but a lot more than one.
Well, it wouldn't be hard to be a lot more than one. How has that? Seems like it was kind of segregated. We've resegregated in this country, even though there was a Supreme Court decision that said that.
Okay, so now they're trying to paint Bernie Sanders as a segregationist, as a racist. First off, Bernie Sanders went to school during the 1950s, during the separate but equal era, when segregation was still going on. Okay? So, Bernie Sanders going to a school which obviously wasn't segregated because there was one black kid when he was in elementary school, and then I read there's a story on this. There were 4 black kids in his high school. I know, it's hard to believe so few, right? But you're talking about the 1950s. During the era of segregation, the civil rights movement was just really beginning, the modern civil rights movement. Okay? So Bernie Sanders going to a school, graduating high school, and a school with 4 black people in it is no statement on him. He just happened to be a kid then and was going to school where in the neighborhood where he lived. Doesn't mean he or his family even were segregationist. It's pretty bizarre what they're doing. But see, this is part of the Democrat and media working to try to damage him. Because he is Bernie Sanders is the front runner. He's doing rallies with thousands showing up. Not as big as Trump rallies, but Bernie Sanders, so far as political rallies and size, are number 1 among the Democrats. Okay? And none of this is being shown on television or reported. Yes, he's 78 years old, 77, 78, 79, Bernie Sanders. Having grown up in the era of segregation is not his fault. And his school wasn't even segregated. There were black people in it, not many, but there were. But this is what they're so afraid of Bernie Sanders. They're so afraid of Bernie Sanders. And I'll tell you, Bernie Sanders voters, when the nomination process is over and they screw you again, just like in 2016, and steal the nomination away from your frontrunner, Bernie Sanders, in the general election, your vote should go to Trump. You should vote for Trump, Bernie Sanders people, as a protest vote. Like Bernie Sanders, he's an outsider, not part of the establishment, not owned by the corporate donors and all of this, like the Democrats are. And Bernie Sanders voters, as a vote of protest, should en masse organize Bernie voters for Trump to show the Democrats you're not going to take it anymore. And they know because of his age, he's not going to be able to mount another run. This will be it for him, probably. Unless he's running at age 82 or 3 next time around. But you never know with Bernie. And if he goes and talks to Dr. Mitch Matez about hormone replacement pellet therapy, he could probably do it. But they know he's probably not. Bernie Sanders is no racist. Last week he was a sexist with Elizabeth Warren. Right now, woman can be president. Lie. This week he's a racist. They're throwing everything at Bernie Sanders. And he's a communist. Don't misunderstand me. And I don't support Bernie Sanders. And he would be a very dangerous man as president. However, not the most dangerous. Some of these other Democrats would be more dangerous for a lot of reasons that Bernie wouldn't be. But you're telling me last Monday Bernie Sanders was a sexist, and this Monday I'm supposed to accept that he's a racist? Come on. Bernie Sanders is a lot of things, but he's no sexist and he's no racist. You know, and I'm becoming more and more sympathetic to Bernie Sanders each and every day. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Just one add-on.
Yeah.
It's Bernie Sanders did. James Matt.
Yeah.
Guess who else went to that same school?
I have no idea.
A woman by the name of Chuck Schumer.
Oh.
An elderly Jewish Supreme Court judge happened to have gone to that same school as Bernie Sanders.
Which one?
Madison. So, who's the elderly Jewish Supreme Court lady?
Oh, you're talking about Ginsburg? Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Wow.
It's in my school, James Madison.
So this is interesting. So is Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Chuck Schumer, are they racist too because there were so few blacks at the time at the school? I don't know.
Let me tell you something. That was in the, I graduated 1968. That was the hardcore busing era. Believe me, that was far from a racist school, James Madison.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, what they're doing to Bernie Sanders is it's pathetic because it's so obvious not the truth. Bernie Sanders is a communist. There's no doubt about it. He's a communist and a hypocrite because he's a multimillionaire communist. There's no getting around his hypocrisies and the fact that he's a communist. But last Monday we're supposed to believe he's a sexist. This Monday he's a rape. What's it going to be next week? Homophobe? What else are they going to throw at him? We're 2 weeks away, right? It's 2 weeks away from Iowa, right? 2 weeks tomorrow from Iowa, and all of a sudden Bernie's a sexist and a racist. Give me a break.
Well, if Steve was there, I tell you, Bernie Sanders' new punchline should be, "I could have been a contender."
Could have been a contender. Could have been somebody. He is somebody. He's the front runner of the Democrat Party, and the Democrats can't have it.
Paul.
That's right. All right. Appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Now, I got to tell you, Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center. I am a big user of nutraceuticals, supplements, and over at Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center, everything is 15% off. They're already discounted prices. Okay, at Save-A-Lot. And I use Save-A-Lot's cholesterol-reducing supplements. It works wonders. The prices are so low on supplements at Save-A-Lot. They're lower than what you can find online, which is unheard of. So, listen, give Save-A-Lot a call. They ship locally and nationally. A lot of people local can't make it into Margate. That's okay. They'll ship to you locally or anywhere in the country. 754-307-1655. That's Save-A-Lot. 754-307-1655. Or you can stop right in. Save-A-Lot is located in Margate, just south of Sample Road on the west side of 441 State Road 7. All right, we'll take our last break of the day and be right back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Don't go anywhere.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each?
Steve Kane Show.
I Will Advisors, that's how, at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. And have their expert team review your homeowner's policy. I Will Advisors will review your policy at no charge. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for your property insurance policy. So what are you waiting for? Call I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire.
Hey there.
Friendly Tires, everything you said it would be, man. I went up there, got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man, and Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve will be back tomorrow, I promise you. Steve's under the weather. He was under the weather last week. He was not doing well this weekend. Bad cold, bad flu, one or the other. I don't know which. He did actually go to his doctor on Friday, put him on that Z-Pack, so I know he's doing better. And but, you don't want to get that false positive, then you come back a day early. So Steve will be back tomorrow. All right, it's time to check in with William Youngerman with this morning's Gold Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Exciting things happening in the metals. And to give a recap of yesterday's action, we saw gold close up $9.20, closing at $1,571.60, pushing right through any resistance areas that we had in the 1560s, and following through overnight to get as high as $1,589 last night. Silver closed up yesterday at $33 3 cents up at $18.10. Again, pushing right through the $18 resistance level that we've seen. Platinum was up $2 at $1,004, and palladium closed down $44 yesterday at $22.97. This morning, we got gold much higher. As I said, overnight, gold got up to $1,589. Right now, gold's $1,582. That's up $10.40. A lot of concern over this new virus, the coronavirus. This is a very serious impact on the economies of the world, and it could be the catalyst that we see going forward to push gold to back up to $1,900, and I think that could actually happen this year. Today, gold at $1,582. That's up $10.40 right now. Silver up another 20 cents at $18.30 the ounce. Platinum was down $14 right now at $990. And palladium is down $42 at $2,255 the ounce. That's pretty.
Wow. Great stuff, great stuff. Of course, William Youngerman, in business since 1967. Okay, and not only can you buy the metals, you can sell the metals. U.S. gold, world gold, paper money, all of this is available to you at William Youngerman. Give them a call, 1-800-327-5010. No matter where you are located, they can help you locally, outside of the local area, throughout the country, even internationally. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or stop right in. They're located in the heart of Boca Raton, just immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road in Boca. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, you too. All right, things are going very well. Al the John, good morning.
Good morning. You've always been pretty good at multitasking, and I highly recommend the Garden of Life MCT powder.
Are you talking about it Save a Lot? What's that supplement? What is it called, and what's it for again?
It's for the body and brain. It's got coconut oil and.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, you sound more coherent than normal, so that supplement is doing wonders for you. So that's great. Yeah, all right. Give Save a Lot a call, 754-307-1655. So look what they're doing to your poor boy Bernie. Last week he's a sexist. This week he's a racist. I mean, what are they doing to poor Bernie?
I'd like to address the issue that Trump is calling Bolt a liar, and meanwhile, Fiona Hill, Bill Taylor, Colonel Alexander Vindman, George Kent, Tim Morrison, David Holmes all said it was quid pro quo.
Quid pro what? Quid pro what?
All right. You know what quid pro.
Okay. Can you say it? Okay. You got it.
Mick Mulvaney.
Well, the problem is the alleged victim is the president of Ukraine, Zelensky. And Zelensky says it's not true, and he was involved in the phone call. Plus, we've read the transcript of the phone call. So, I mean, come on, it's time to move on from that.
Yeah, he doesn't want any more aid frozen in the future, so he's got to keep his mouth shut. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
You called Michael Smith, who from the New York Times, who's a Pulitzer Prize winner. You called him spreading false news and fake news. He has a relationship with Nicole Wallace of MSNBC, and they're both reputable journalists. And you just keep on having this fantasy that Donald Trump doesn't lie, and he does. There was a quid pro quo. There was testimony by people that he appointed.
Hey, Jan, hold on.
Bill Taylor, somebody that Mike Pompeo.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. No, in fact, they said that they didn't hear Trump at all say that they felt that it was inferred but not said, which isn't the same thing. Come on. You're hanging on to something that's already been destroyed and torn apart. And I find it interesting that, by the way, that I've let Al go on a little bit because I had to call up Janet Cimarelli from Save-A-Lot, and Al blathering about all this stuff allowed me an opportunity to call Janet Cimarelli from Save-A-Lot, who we're going to go to in just a moment. But I find it interesting that you're not defending the man that you've said that you're a strong supporter of, Bernie Sanders. They're calling him a racist today, a sexist last week. Why no defense of Bernie Sanders? Have you given up on Bernie Sanders?
No, Bernie Sanders is going to, on several polls, he's up by 10 points.
He's the front runner. He's the front runner.
Yes, but I told you 6 months ago that these polls were skewed, and that by the time they get to the last few weeks of the primary, before the primary, that he's going to poll.
Okay. Now I gotta let you go, Al. I gotta let you go. But what was that? Well, before you go, what was that supplement again from Save-A-Lot that you were telling me about?
Yeah, MCT powder, Garden of Life, doctor formulated keto.
Okay, that's all I need. That's all I need. Did you catch that, Janet? Al there was talking about a great supplement that he picked up over at Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center.
Good morning to everyone. Yes, indeed, plugs right into what I was going to speak about this morning, which is your brain chemistry. How to get your brain chemistry started, how to perk up on Monday morning, just get your neurons firing so that you have the impetus to get through the week at the highest level of brain function. And what can you find at Save-A-Lot? Yes, all of those things that are going to stimulate brain function. What is in my coffee this morning? MCT oil.
Oh, just like Al. Yeah, that's great.
So, Al mentioned the MCT powder from Garden of Life. Some people might like that a little bit better. I happen to like the oil. You can get it from Jarrow Formulas. You can get it from Garden of Life. You can get it from a variety of different sources at Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center. What's it going to do? It's going to support the neurons firing in your brain. When those neurons fire with ease and they connect and there's no impediment, no block between the firing neuron and the receiving neuron, your brain is working so fast.
Steve Kane Show.
It's working so well.
Steve Kane Show.
That come at you, you solve your way around them. You are creative with new ideas.
That's right.
PS100 from Jarrow, phosphatidylcholine. Again, supporting that brain chemistry that makes
Steve King.
So easy, right?
That's right. And Save-A-Lot, again, Save-A-Lot ships nationally and also locally. If for whatever reason you can't make it into the store, give them a call, 754-307-1655, 754-307-1655. And Save-A-Lot is located in Margate, just south of Sample Road on the west side of 441 in the formerly Penn Dutch Plaza. All right, Janet, we will talk tomorrow. All right, take care. Janet from Save-A-Lot. Good morning. You are on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, Bob from Pompano. I have a comment at the end of the show, too, quickly. When I was in the military, we had AIT training, and they had a demonstration of helicopters in Oklahoma and Fort Sill. They showed how safe they were. They actually went up in the air, and they cut the engines, and they came down what they call the whirlybirds. They just floated down. So that he must have hit into a mountain.
Well, I'll slow down on that. That might be a little misleading because if they just went up and did it, they're kind of got that kind of momentum up and down. If you're traveling, I don't know how fast Kobe Bryant's helicopter flew, but if you have a forward momentum and you lose an engine, you're not going to just go down, are you? Yeah, like a rock.
And they showed how safe it was.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't trust helicopters. So what do you think happened with Kobe Bryant? Just flew in the fog that they shouldn't have been flying in and flew into a mountain at 180?
I think as a Kennedy boy, maybe he shouldn't have been up there. They didn't know the instruments or whatever, but...
Well, what I imagine when you're dealing with private pilots of celebrities and wealthy people, celebrities in particular, I would think a pilot would be more likely to do things that they normally wouldn't because they feel pressured by the employer. Yeah, but I don't see Kobe Bryant pushing to fly in unsafe conditions with his child on board. I mean, this guy's flown a lot. He's had this helicopter for years and years and years. He knows about fog and unsafe conditions. And there was a witness, an audio witness, a guy who's a minister who was in church during the crash where it happened, and he heard some strange engine noises prior to the crash. So it's, based on that, it sounds like some kind of mechanical issue led to the crash, maybe.
Very sad. When I heard of a child on there breaks your heart,
Oh, my goodness. No, me either. I'm not into it either.
To think about it, like Trump says, and he's only 41 years old, I think, and the beginning of his life, really, at 41, that's when you start.
Oh, yeah. And I don't see, I have never watched a basketball game of any kind, so I don't know. I'm not I mean, I know who Kobe Bryant is, and he's, very famous, but I have no interest in that. I have no connection because of that. I have a connection as a father. And I've seen, but before you go to the other thing, I've seen many interviews with Kobe Bryant in the last day, and he seemed to me to be a very decent man. And I don't see him getting in unsafe conditions with his child on board. I just don't see it. Anyway, what's your next thing?
So, yeah, we were on a cruise, and it had just CNN on. That's all they had. And all we heard the whole week last week is about Trump, how terrible he was. And I never watched CNN, but I was forced to watch some of it.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing because there are a lot of foreign tourists on there, mostly French, and they're watching this channel. And it's like Trump is.
Well, I'm out of time. But I'll tell you, if you went on our Steve Kane cruises on Celebrity, we have our Trump Victory Cruise coming up in December. We get Fox on our cruise ships. We get Fox News Channel. We get Fox News Channel. Absolutely. So join us. All right. Hey, listen, we are all out of time. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.
9 FM 103.
All right, guys, take care. If you don't, subscribe, all right? Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you later. Take care. Thanks for watching, everyone.